Hello and welcome back to Die Rollin for day 4 of the Exit Advent Calendar. Last time we were sewing up buttons and making codes and colours, and we were able to decode a lovely little puzzle there and get a nice value. This time, I don't know what we're doing, we're just going to the top of the map. So without any further ado, let's begin with our little introduction and see where we're off to next. You open up the next door to find yourself in a big dance hall. You have been here many times before. Originally, the boss had only planned to listen to records here before delivery. But because he is such a music fanatic and can't sit still when listening to beautiful music, he expanded the space to include a dance floor. Since then, you have seen him here boogieing away more and more often. And not just him. On New Year's Eve, the whole staff comes together for a big party. Full of anticipation for the turn of the new year, you look around the room. Everything for the party is already prepared. You note several colourful crystals on the ceiling. The boss is particularly proud of these magical bulbs. You have no idea how they work, but they create an undeniably fantastic atmosphere. When the lights flash and sound the music, a huge gramophone with several records is ready in front of the dance floor. The wooden parquet on the floor is polished so that it almost reflects the light. The New Year's Eve celebration is going to be a blast, you're sure of it. Suddenly a thought pulls you out of the daydreams. If your mission fails, then there will probably be nothing to celebrate. At the end of the month, in this room, created for music, dance and merriment, the stillness around you suddenly becomes unbearable. As if the whole world had become a standstill, you decide to combat those oppressive feelings with music. After all, what else is the gramophone here for? And surely there are also enough records here. You need to decide which of these, which one is to choose for your song. You take a thoughtful look at what is available. Open door 4. So we got to open door number 4. So let us begin on this new day. So inside the room, we've got some cards. And let's have a look at what's going on. So on the floor on the inside, you can just about make out a bunch of words. So we've got a T, an A, H, a Q, and a thing. And then on the top, we've got a bunch of colours, if you can just about make them out of the top of the screen, because I can't tilt it enough, because otherwise I'll knock the camera over. But trust me, there's a bunch of symbols and things in there, so let's see what's going on. So we found Janik Stubbs, who's in Department of Dolls. Interesting, so he deals with making dolls, so he will be another card we collect. But we've got a couple of things. So we've got... Yesterday's code is music to your ears. Do you see the light? So we got a set of tracks. Oh, Silent Night. The record directory. Silent Night, and we've got then 2 things. So we've got letters and we've got colours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this notepad. And we're going to jot down some of the grids down, because I can just about make out the grids in the top. You probably can make them out here. And I'm going to start noting down and make the recreation of that grid on this piece of paper, so that we've got a way of visually seeing that, rather than me have to hold up this whole thing all the time. So how we want to do this is we want to check what each one is. So we've got like light blue, we've got pink, we've got black, we've got blue, we've got orange, we've got purple, we've got yellow, we've got green, and we've got red. So that's kind of like our little grid that I've sort of drawn out really haphazardly for the top. For the bottom, I'm just going to redraw out the one that's in here. So that's, interestingly, it's going to be quite fun to see if we can draw this out. So I'm going to hold that up there so you can just about see what I'm doing. And I'm going to try and draw down here what's going on. So we've got another grid. of 3 by 3, which is just some really shoddy little thing that I'm going to draw out. Sure, that will do. And then we've got T, R, I think that's E. Yeah, E. We got a U, we got a P, we got an A, we've got a Q, an N, and a D. Cool. Right, so we've got our symbols, and I'm guessing they line up with the things on the floor. So yellow lines up to T, so it's kind of like mirrored on the thing. So I've got to try and figure out how what you're standing under is equal to the thing. So as you stand on each of the things, it will show a little word, and I think it will just spell out some things from each of these codes here. So I've got to imagine that that's flipped upside down because I've done it wrong. Looking at it on the map, it's going to be quite confusing. So the bottom row, so let's mark it up. So that's 1, 2, 3, and that's 1, 2, 3. So it sort of makes sense when I'm trying to mirror it out. So on our little card here, we've got a bunch of different songs of Oh Christmas Tree, Joy to the World, and Silent Night, Holy Night, but with a bunch of music notes. And on here, we've got a few notes of like what's going on. Yesterday's code is music to your ears. Do you see the light? Okay, so we've got to now figure it out. So the light probably indicates like Christmas tree. So let's try and figure out what's going on with that. So let's start with going through the colours and coming up with the words for them. So start off, we look at purple. So it goes, I think that's just about a purple. I'm trying to make it out myself. Yes, that is purple. So we go N. So we start so this is for Silent the Christmas Tree. So Oh Christmas Trees, one is purple, which is N. Then it goes light blue, which is E. Blue, which is R. Then we go purple again, which is N. And then we go N again. And then we got pink, which is A. Oh, not A, that's a U. Then we've got a blue, which is R. We've got an orange, which is P. We've got a green, that is U. We've got a red, that is Q. We've got another purple, which is N, I believe. And then we've got another light blue, that is E. So that makes no sense. So Joy to the World, let's have a look at that one. So Joy to the World. Let's try this one. So this one's pink. So let's try that. So pink is A. Purple is N. Yep. Black, which is D. Light blue, which is E. We've got blue, which is R. We've got orange, which is P. We've got green, which is which is A. We've got blue, which is R. We've got red, which is Q. We got pink, which is U. We got light blue, which is E. And then we've got yellow, which is T. Ender Parkway. Okay, and then something, and then we've got Silent Night. I'm going to quickly solve that so that you don't have to, and I'll be right back after this brief interval. Okay, so I had a solve of the codes and it made no sense. I made some jargon down here, and there's only like a bit with tune and some other words, so I've got to try and figure out why. So let's have a look in here again. So TAQ RPN EUD. Okay, cool. So that's on there. Got the music player at the back, if you can just about see, and then our lights. So I'm going to have a little hint, I think. I'm going to have a hint. As I definitely think it's something to do with the lights. So let's have a look at our little hint track. You want to counteract the oppressive silence in music, but which song should play? Riddle 2 claims yes, the solution is music to ears. Do you remember the numeric code for you entered yesterday? Maybe that will help you with the song selection. Oh, so yesterday was 145. So that is the trick. So we need to know what that is. Look at the riddle code and see if we can find that is. So what we're going to do is we're going to use 145 as our track. So 145 leads to Joy to the World. So Joy to the World is the second row. So we need to find out what that means. So we need to recreate track number 2 as part of our grid system. So I'm going to redraw the grid and I will come back to you after I've figured out what that is. Right, so now I've got a word under parkway. So that might be under the floor. So is there a thing under the floor? Can I see what's under the floor in this room? It's moving. The code, there we go. Now you lift the floor up and it says the code is 752. So under the floor is the code. That was a tricky one, but we got there in the end, thanks to a little hint that we got over here. So that is 7, I think it was 742. I can double check it because I have it right here. It's 752. Yeah, 752. So 752. Sorry, I can't see that one. That was quite difficult for me to get on camera, but there was 752 under the floor in that room. I had to line up the things based on the tile grid that I have here. And that matches from the roof to the floor, so you were able to see what matched to what. And based on the colours for yesterday's code, which is the middle one, we were able to solve what this puzzle is. So let's see what 752 guides us to. So that takes us to one that's a hexagon, a moon, and a hexagon. So it goes left, which goes from this room, which we're in. So we go, or right, sorry, we go right. Then we go diagonally down. And then we go left. And that takes us to hexagon, moon, hexagon, right here. And that is day number 4 of the Advent calendar. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Sorry, it was a bit haphazard, this one, but we were able to at least figure out where we're going next. We were able to figure out, looking at the dance floor, what's going on there, and we were able to, and we needed to bring out a notepad and paper for this one to try and figure out what's going on. So it was a good challenge on the day's puzzles, but I hope you enjoyed today's. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and most importantly, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing you next time for another day of Advent. Most importantly, stay safe or die rolling.